This is video analysis of a futsal player by Daniel. I will be going through what video analysis is, providing an example of somebody else using video analysis, and then analysing my own videos that I took of the participant playing futsal. First things, what is video analysis? Video analysis is used to record players specifically, or record a match to analyse players, teams or tactics. They do this to see if they can find a pattern in a team's tactic where they can find a way to attack a weakness. They would do this before the season, during pre-season, or before the match. Players may use video analysis to see any weakness in their game. This could come from the person that is reviewing the footage and give constructive criticism to the player and telling them how they could improve, but also telling them what they were doing well in the video. This could come from a game or even training footage. It's not only just used in football, as it is used in most sports, such as basketball and MMA. Moving on to positives and negatives of video analysis. There are many positives and negatives of video analysis. These could be performance feedback, tactical analysis, and tracking progression. These are important because being given feedback allows you to improve your game and may even provide a confidence boost if the feedback is good. Also, tactical analysis is important to do for both sides. This is because being able to analyse your own tactics allows you to start perfecting the weaknesses that you may find with it. And being able to see what formation the opposite team may be using or how the players play is important, so you can train your team to deal with it. Being able to track progressions with video analysis is useful, as you are able to take day one of the progression tracking and compare it to different days and see how you improve and where you still need to improve over the time that you're doing this progression tracking. Part 2 of positives and negatives. Negatives of video analysis are the time that it takes to watch and then provide analysis of a video. This can be due to the games being 90 minutes long or training session being long, which could impact the person that is watching it due to the possibility of having to do video analysis of it on the whole team. Another negative could be the amount of video analysis staff that you may have. This is due to the fact that there could be hours of footage and it would be unfair for one person to have to watch it all. However, adding more video analysers would mean spending more money on wages. One last negative is the cost of the equipment. High quality equipment and software can cost a lot, which could pose a financial challenge for some of the teams, which would be unfair because there could also be teams in similar leagues that can afford this equipment. Now there will be an example video of somebody analysing a futsal match. I decided to use this video because it shows different angles from what I got when I was videoing my participants when they were playing futsal. This is because I didn't have a chance to get a bird's eye view compared to the video. Also, it shows the whole team playing together, where I am focusing on the participant that I chose to analyse. This is the first clip that I chose to put in this recording. This is due to because it shows the participant's positioning as he chooses to position himself in the middle of the pitch. So he is able to see all the opposition players, his own team, and potentially find passing plays. Here the participant walks into the centre of the pitch as he knows that he needs to make a challenge for the ball, in which he does, and then he picks the opponent up off the floor for him. He also then sees that there's a lot of space at the back post, in which he ends up filling, but then opponents win the ball, but he tracks back and covers off the side. He runs up and then he drops back, and then the opponent picks up the ball, so the participant stands him up and forces him onto his weak foot to try and get him to shoot on his weak foot, which he succeeds in, which ends up being a goal kick as well. Here the opposition goalkeeper throws it long, so the participant decides to stand off of the opponent and allows him to take it down, and then tackles him, and then does some nice dribbling and passes it off. After reviewing the first clip, it's clear to see that the participant enjoys standing in the middle of the pitch, so he's able to see the entirety of his teammates and the opposition team, to know where he either has to drop back and defend, or if he receives the ball, he's able to make a progressive pass. However, it's clear to see with both the first clip and soon in the second clip that the participant needs to show a bit more urgency, as he's seen walking around the pitch for most of the clips. However, also with speaking with the participant before these clips were taken, he is playing in his unnatural position. He's playing as a defender, whereas he is a striker, which could be the reason why he's showing little urgency, as he's not playing in the correct position. As seen in the first clip, the participant takes up a space in the middle of the pitch, however, misses the interception, but luckily the pass has got too much power on and goes out of play. Here from the goal kick, he receives the ball, however he tries to play it into the middle and plays it into danger, where the opposition team is able to intercept and get a shot off, with the goalkeeper making a good save. Here it goes out for kicking, and he attempts to take a quick one, however doesn't have enough direction on the ball, which in turn goes to their goalkeeper. Here the opposition team makes a quick attack where he's meant to be marking one player, and then that player switches it. However, he puts enough pressure on the opposition striker where she misses the shot. Here, participant takes up a position in the middle of the box where he's able to intercept. However, he kicks it out of play to try and give his team a bit of time to breathe and realise it and work on their positioning. This is a photo that I got with him after the end of the futsal session, where I was showing him some of the videos where he was taking part in, and giving him some feedback, such as, again, showing some more intensity or urgency to throughout the games, because he was walking a lot during the clips. A common theme is I was praising him on his positioning throughout the game, because he took up a centre spot, again, where he's able to see the whole pitch other than his own goalkeeper, but he's able to see the opposition players and where they're positioned, and he's able to see where his own team are positioned. This allows him to get ready and either defend if he's needed to defend, or to either receive and play a progressive pass, or even maybe take a shot. Another praise that I gave him was he showcased some good dribbling to get out of positions where he was getting pressed and able to pass it off, or when he passed it out of play, he ensured that he was giving his team a bit of time to breathe. Prior to recording the sessions, I had to think about what resources I may need, what methods I was doing, and the facilities and the use of technology that I was doing. With the resources, all I needed was the futsal club to be on at lunchtime, in which the nets would have had to be up and there would have to be a football or futsal and 2 different teams. The method and use of technology, I chose to stand on the sideline and get videos of the participant when he was defending. I ensured to tell him to complete it or make sure that he gets some tackles done, because that's what I wanted to see from him. Also, to see him attempt to dribble out from the back and try and progress a pass off to a teammate. And with the facilities, we played indoors, which meant I also didn't have to worry about any rain or potential wind, which could have affected my camera quality. Now, the cost of what I completed, the cost was nothing, and there weren't a lot of factors about cost, as I used my own phone, which I already had. However, I could have, if I didn't have a phone, I could have asked to borrow a phone from one of my peers, or use the university fund money that I got. However, compared to professionals, they use high quality cameras, which cost a lot, and also use different softwares, which would also cost, depending on the software. For time, the futsal club or session was put on at lunchtime, and it's usually an hour, and it also takes me a bit longer to actually review and give some feedback to my participant after reviewing the footage. However, comparing to professional analysis again, these could take up to a couple of days due to the amount of footage that they would have to be reviewing, due to them being a lot more people in a football training session or match compared to me reviewing just one participant. With the technical knowledge, I had to ensure that I knew, obviously, how to record on my phone and how to record the participant, maybe even using some zoom-ins, and after the fact I had to have the knowledge to give the client some feedback on how he performed and what he could improve, what he did well during the match. And reliability, I had to ensure that when we were doing the futsal test, that he was playing with the same teammates, just to ensure that there's some similar chemistry between them. And I also had to ensure that he was playing as a defender, due to the fact that that was where he started for the first clip. And that link is the video that was used for the example. Thank you for watching.